Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Tangledeep, Dawn of Dragons. As I remember it, there is a pretty scary Komodo waiting for us back in the desert oasis, right? Did we ever get around to killing him? I'm pretty sure we didn't. So let's take a moment and prepare ourselves by eating some bananas, I guess? Yeah, I don't really want to use any of our important stuff here. Just hang out for a moment. Do we want to... We may as well go back to actually full, right? We definitely want to wait until the debuff wears off. Okay, we are as ready as we are getting to deal with this. He is not resistant to... Oh no, he's immune to fire. Never mind. Alright, well then, I think it is time to, first of all, give ourselves some extra sources of damage, and secondly, give him some extra things to shoot at. Those lasers are physical damage, is that right? Am I remembering correctly? It doesn't actually say. Okay, well, more damage seems good. Wow. Apparently 235 damage is a little bit too much for our spitting plants. It's not even really that impressive. Okay, I have been banished. That's fine. I don't think that matters too much. Do we want to... We can't Wild Horse. He's too far away. I've been blinded. Well, pretty sure that doesn't affect the spells. He is just absolutely destroying all of our summons. Hoping that we can get like just a little bit of damage out of some of them. Alright, right. I don't know why I bothered to put up the Phasma. He's not going to take any damage from that. Hopefully the Bone Crabs can get a little bit of something done here. We're already pretty low on energy. Here we have Reverberate Monster, which is going to be useless because there's no echoes around here. So I'm going to wait until we actually take some damage before I eat. To restore our energy, just for maximum efficiency. I mean, when we actually get to hit him with the axe, it's effective. The blind and everything are definitely very annoying, though. Alright, let's eat something that's a little bit more robust. So we don't actually have a huge number of options, do we? I mean, the fruit bowl's not terrible. But yeah, we need better food. Fruit bowl will make it so we can't eat for 14 turns. I mean, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to ever eat anything, I guess. We're gonna need some stuff back. I don't think we have anything we can do here with him charging at us except for getting hit by it. He's in range for a Void Bolt. We can at least prep that. So we're 9 turns off of being able to re-enable the shield. This is the turn where we want to be, summoning and stuff because we were blinded. I'm actually taking a huge amount of damage. I don't see that we're going to be able to kill him, actually. What do we have in terms of instantly usable healing? Very little. We have a couple of normal mint herb brews, which are not even really worth using, because they'll... the turn we spend using them will cause us to take more damage than we gained from them in health. But we can use a Scroll of Teleportation to back off and heal up a little bit before re-engaging, because obviously if we leave the floor, he's going to reset. I don't really want to reset him. That said, right now we're in a position where we can melee, and I think we probably ought to go ahead and hit him with the melee. Okay, am I rooted? That's very annoying, because this is like... This push was great for us, right? I could step over to here and just heal up. Hit him once with our... Okay, he chased me. And he's huge and dealing tons of bonus damage. This is very close to... we're very close to being in good shape here, actually. I think we probably have to try to teleport away. Maybe I just deflecting filter. How many turns are left on my food? 7. If we could get away for 4 turns. Here's my concern about the teleportation. It's going to move us to like here at best. We're not actually going to be able to break line of sight with this because of the way the terrain around us is shaped. But I think it's still right. We teleport to here, then we break line of sight around there. We buy some time to heal up. Yeah, if we can back away for just a few more turns. Let's go ahead and hit the teleport. Okay, he turned around because I think he went after the spitting plant, which is actually great. Okay, so since he has done that, let's go ahead and summon a void crystal right here, just to try to buy ourselves an extra turn. And then... where do I want to end up? I want to put myself in a position where I could potentially escape from him. Okay. So we're no longer full. We don't have a lot of good food. This is probably like campfire roasted meat time. I know it doesn't give us a lot of ability to use our abilities. And in particular, it means that we don't get summons. But Void Bolt is stamina-based. I think that was right. So is there anything else we can do to prep, though? Not really, right? I guess I could actually... we could take, like, a deflecting filter. He's going to come around the corner any second now here. So we may as well drink up all of our buffs. We might not need anything else. I'm going to throw some caltrops on the ground. Aha! You fool! Okay. That was not easy. I can step on the caltrops. What am I doing? I'm waiting for them to fade away. Oh, apparently we're not done in this area. Somehow, there are still more enemies that we didn't see before. Alright. I really hate getting blinded. Nice to see a fountain. I think the worst part about being blinded in this game, weirdly, is the fact that it doesn't actually remove your hit chance. Yeah, it cuts your hit chance by 50%, so it's really easy to tell yourself, you know what? If I just take a swing, something good might happen. Alright, let's go ahead and sell all of our unequipped commons, and then have a look at what she has turned them into. Ooh. It's a fair amount of fire damage, and it's nice and cheap. That's a very, very good bit of food. It's a lot of health, and the well-fed debuff is not super long. Hydrating Incombustible Necklace of the Wolf, Explosions, and Familiars. Well, flask healing over time does not do a lot for us. Plus stats if you have no summoned creatures, not really great for us. This is kind of a weird item. An item having both of the wolf and familiars on it is unfortunate. Yet anything else like terribly fascinating? No, not really. What is this samurai armor? It's 25% physical resist when you're higher than 50% CT. So that's completely uncontrollable. Sometimes you will have a lot of physical resistance, sometimes you won't. I wonder if it is actually better than our runic garb. The fact that it gives us a chance to dodge enemy skills and spells is pretty cool. I mean, obviously I love the bone crab thing, but samurai armor also increases your damage. So we lose 4% dodge, we gain 5% physical resist, and 10% damage. We don't make as much CT. And you know what? Honestly, moving more quietly is way more relevant with this character than it is with most characters, because we really can't handle too much combat all at once. So I think we might just be at less than or equal to 35% HP. A strong cool frog appears. I almost want to take it. I think our weapon is really, really strong. We probably don't want to replace our weapon. Yeah, I guess we don't really need any of this stuff. Well, I guess it was good to complete it for the job points, even though at this point, buying the stats that we like with our job points is very expensive. It's another situation where we should probably just eat something minor here and let ourselves get full, because we are about to move up to Bandit HQ. We have cleared out this floor. Alright, I guess let's have a look at our... Yeah, we do have actually a lot of JP. So you can buy a little bit more strength. Yeah, I'm just going to take it as two strength ups. Strength is starting to look pretty impressive. We definitely need some other stats, and we will totally buy some other stats soon-ish, probably. Boss lady, ma'am, you gotta help us, please. There's a guy in this room above who's gone chirping mad. He's got this strange magic and... Wait, what did you just call me? Boss lady? Cause you're the boss? And a lady. Look, ma'am, I'll call you whatever you want if you help us deal with that crazy beak summoning scary creatures out of thin air. Summoning creatures? Could he have power like mine? Another ally, perhaps, bound to fulfill the cause? Tangledeep's secrets are being unraveled one after another, just as I'd hoped. What could... Hey, boss lady, hello? You still there? Oh, yeah, thank you, brave boys. You've done well. Report this to the Duke. I will investigate. Which is to say, get the hell out of my way. I mean, we may as well hit one of these, right? I wasn't actually at full health. Feels like they can maybe follow me up and help me instead of just running around down here. Alright, definitely buy a butler's bell. Bomblets are great. Made fat brew is a no-brainer. 3 scrolls of teleportation. We don't have a very good ranged weapon right now, so I suppose we might want to look at one of these. Bonus basic attack damage to weak foes, damage against beasts up. I mean, that's alright. Recover from feeling full 1 turn faster. I'm not actually sure how that works. Is it that if you're holding this when you eat, it could be that if you're holding this when you eat, you get a debuff that is 1 turn less in duration. It could be that your debuffs are normal, but when they get to 2 turns remaining, they're removed instead of, you know. Either way, it's probably not worth buying just to try to take advantage of that. Petrified branch doesn't seem any good. I think we're probably just going to take this one. It's not very expensive. It's definitely an upgrade. Although, actually, it's a bow, so its damage is based on swiftness, and we don't really have a lot of... In fact, we really don't have a lot of swiftness. So I guess we probably do want to stick with a staff. Oh, also, we have a ton of garbage in our inventory that just isn't common, which I probably should have given some of this to Ruby. Well, I mean, there's no sense in having this this unenchanted wizard staff in my slot there. We may as well put on one of those ones. But yeah, I guess I won't use this bow. Judo Sash of the Wolf gives you the unarmed fighting skill of a novice Boudica. They have to say it that way because one of the class, maybe more than one of the class passives for Boudica makes you even better at fighting with your bare hands than you are just by being that class. Kind of hard to imagine this being very good, honestly. Anyway, this guy still has some stuff that we want. Let's go ahead and buy. I mean, we may as well buy all of the consumables, right? We don't need a knight's shovel. Super tonic could be useful. This seems bad. I mean, I'll take that. A medium mystery egg. Maybe we'll need a random monster at some point. And then there's a bunch of stuff here that I'm not, like, particularly interested in. Yeah, I think we're good. And by good, of course, I mean let's cook. So... we want as much makizushi as we can handle. And then, like, because we're talking about not being item efficient, but rather time efficient, it's probably a good idea to turn all of our turkey legs into kebabs. And then we still have cobblers and fruit bowls and stuff, but we also definitely don't need to have this number of apples. And then we could make some banana splits, which seems like a smart thing to do. Yeah, okay. I think we're ready to keep moving. You know what? I'm going to turn the rest of the apples into fruit bowls. Okay, now I think we're ready to keep moving. Definitely need to replace our lost campfire meat. Basic attacks deal plus 8% damage per dominated monster is a cool idea, but unfortunately, it's so hard to keep monsters alive that I think improved influence is probably better. If I'm honest, though, I don't know that I love either of those. Okay, what's this guy's deal? I just add a bit more fire and lightning, some ice and shadow. I can feel the flow coalescing. Yes! Yes! What are you doing? It feels like... Uh-oh. Oh no, boss lady, help! How would he know what being turned into a scary shadow monster feels like? Oh, I guess this guy turns them into all kinds of monsters. What? That was far too much power for a body to channel. What were you thinking? Do you understand the forces you're toying with? At last, a guest with a functioning brain. What a refreshing change of pace. Welcome to my research station. You may call me Ingersoll. I am a humble scholar of flow, and to answer your impertinent question, yes, I understand quite well the potency of flow, and this wondrous device is the cutting edge of my research. You did that on purpose? Absolutely. The richness of the data gained from this experiment is worth a few singed feathers, and I will share it with you. I could use an assistant to help organize and prepare all this information. I am no one's assistant, Ingersoll, and I will not let you harm another feather on one of my bird boys. Apparently I've really taken ownership in a big way here. Fine, I'll use useless nobodies from one of the other dozen bandit clans. I know how Tangledeep works. You didn't just walk up here without getting your hands dirty too. Now, you're right, I have a purpose, and no one will stop me from repairing this broken world. I'll do what I have to do, but that doesn't mean you can't play your part. If you join me... Whoa, join you? Is all that white straw on top of your bird brain clouding your vision? Perhaps you have not clearly assessed our situation. I control the device. I control the spirits. And you are one impolite remark away from becoming my next mountain of data. If your purpose guides you to fix the world, then congratulations, it led you to the right place. This power is the raw essence of change. To create, to destroy, to fix what can be salvaged and scrap the rest. But it is my power, and I will only share it with you once I have used it to control all of Tangledeep's ancient technology. Then we will make a word that respects me as its all-knowing ruler, with you proudly at my side. If that's what you plan to do with this power, then I have no choice but to stop you. I will carry on your research, as my own, and no one will remember your name. This is like a group of villains just sort of ineffectually kind of agreeing with each other about what ought to be done, but disagreeing about who's going to do it. Alright, bird boys, keep those monsters at bay. If I can destroy the device, I'm sure the spirits will be weakened significantly. Well, I guess let's try to do that then. I wonder if summoning stuff is even going to be worthwhile here. I guess more targets. More things to distract the enemies seems like a good idea. So it's very resistant to physical, which is actually pretty unfortunate. But we could go over there and... this is pretty crummy. We can go over there and turn on our Phasma Ring. Nope, I cannot turn on my Phasma Ring. I am too sealed. Still sealed. Forever sealed. And that means I can't even actually, like, do anything useful. Oh, also, for some reason, had my staff equipped. Alright, this does physical damage, I'm pretty sure. Let's make sure. Okay, yep. Well, that being the case, then the only thing we can really do, like I said, is just Phasma Ring and hope that that does enough damage. It's doing a fair amount. It's doing a fair percentage of that thing's health per turn. Speaking of people's health and being done, let's maybe have ourselves an ice cream sundae. Or maybe this is more of a makizushi kind of moment. Because we are really low. Because I'd really like to have more energy, but I think maybe we should take this pretty seriously. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and also drink that mint fat brew that we bought. Keep myself alive until the healing can kick in. Yeah, this is doing alright damage. So they're all very physical resistant. Which is a real shame, because we don't really have other damage types. Yeah, he's very physical resistant as well. There's really nothing we can do here. We could try to capture one of these things, maybe? Let's see if that works. No, I'm sealed. I am permanently sealed, it feels like. Okay, he healed for way too much. Now let's try to recruit. It did not work. Well, okay. I guess I'm not exactly shocked. Somehow I managed to miss a completely stationary crystal laying on the floor. Alright, well that guy's down, and that is a mint super brew right there. We might need that. I don't really want to walk in the materialized shadow, but... do we void bolt it? That feels like a pretty big waste. I mean, what we really need to do is just survive until the ring is available again. Oh, of course, I'm sealed. Why would I ever not be sealed? Don't have the energy. Okay, well that's fine. The energy problem is extremely solvable. Not super happy about all that damage, though. I'm gonna go ahead and do a Makizushi here. Alright, that's almost done for. We could throw a consumable. Just like firebomb this thing. Okay, that has removed the physical resistance. And honestly, I'm pretty pleased with the help here. I was chiding them for not being useful, and they heard me, and they were embarrassed, as they should have been. He is still in fact, he's more resistant now, because I don't think he was very resistant to Shadow before. Also, that Demon Spirit, for some reason, has gone back to full health. Okay, well that's just a very annoying thing for you to have done. Every single time I try to click on an ability, it feels like, oh no, you're sealed. Well, we certainly can't just stand in the fire, so I guess we gotta do this. I'm gonna die here. Yeah, the constant sealing is incredibly annoying. Especially since there's nothing that we can do about it as far as I can tell. We gotta kill more enemies, obviously, but... Am I using the Mint Super Brew already? I think I probably am. Beats the hell out of dying. Okay, you are vulnerable to shadow and water. We definitely have some water damage consumables. Remarkably, I am not sealed. I don't really want to swap places with him. I'm going to swap places with you. Okay, one more down. Should probably eat something. Let's get an ice cream sundae going. Okay, the constant teleporting away, very annoying. So his resistances are shifting constantly, which is bad news for him, because he really needed to be physical resistant at this moment. Oh, there he is. He found it. He figured it out. Okay, we're no longer sealed. Let's throw some abilities up. Is he... fire, water, and physical, huh? Well, that's pretty grim for me. Sure, we're staying up on energy. We don't really have a whole lot of other stuff. I mean, we could throw some lightning at him. We definitely have lightning in a bottle somewhere in here. Okay, he stopped being fire resistant, so that's a good time to turn on the Phasma Ring. And I guess we're just going to keep throwing consumables at him. Wow, he healed himself for 250 damage. That's incredibly annoying. He needs to not do that. Alright, so he used the elemental shielding ability, but it seems like it didn't actually change his resist at all. Fence down, sealed. Oh man, him being sealed is nice. Please stop doing stuff. And that's his soft enrage, I think. I'm gonna throw a pumpkin surprise at him. Like the Green Goblin. I'm defense down and sealed. He is super resistant to physical, but I don't have another play really. I guess we could, we have a weapon that does non-physical damage. Yeah, poison. Let's hit him for some poison damage. Okay, that was tough. The device was a crutch, Ingersoll. I thought you were another master of flow, but look at you now. You don't deserve the flow's power, and you never have. That's very judgmental. You don't know, you might have caught him on a bad day. Also, he's definitely dead. He's so dead that he stopped existing completely, but also he can talk to us. Power without focus is meaningless. You won here, but you'll flame out long before you understand the truth of Tangledeep. Violence is easy, but you don't have it in you to make the tough choices. Tangledeep has a fury you can't begin to imagine. He'll beat you. He? Who? Ingersoll, you... Oh, how dare you do that to me? What an inconsiderate thing of you to die at this moment. So the device is destroyed too. No one's fault but Ingersoll's. So short-sighted of him. Still, that couldn't be the only one of its kind. He didn't create it, he found it. Which means I will find plenty more like it. And unlike him, I won't waste that newfound power. He was wrong about me. My whole life in Tangledeep has been nothing but tough choices. At least he did me one favor by making a very easy choice crystal clear for everyone. Sign up with the boss lady to help fix our world, or you can end up like him. Alright, recruiting approach is now commanding strike, so we can have up to 4 creatures, as if that's a thing that could ever happen. And we get a lot of yellow gear that probably will mostly be useless to us. Some extra cooking ingredients, some monster chow, which I think can't possibly have any use for her, because what it's for is feeding to low-level pets in the ranch. I believe all low-level pets like monster chow, regardless of their normal food desires. Yeah, man, that was a lot of stuff, but not very much of it was any good. So, a bull immobilizing leather Crop of Stealth, a hungry, tireless, incombustible necklace of toxicity. Yeah, stuff is just not, like, not very compelling. Okay, we can fast travel. Well, once again, we're in a situation here where we are not really strongly compelled to head in either direction. I'm gonna grab a point of discipline for the elemental resistance here. It would be awfully handy to find a casino. Might be able to actually get some loot worth having at a casino. The thing where monsters sometimes fall asleep instead of becoming aggressive seems to be triggering an awful lot, which is nice. So we're on level 12 now. This is rated as tricky for us. It's possible that the smart move here is to go back to the previous branching area and do the branch that we didn't do. I don't know if it will actually spawn monsters in there, but it might be worth a shot just to make sure that we're as over-leveled as we can be, because experience is a very limited commodity in the Shara campaign, it looks like. And I sure do hate monsters that summon fields of garbage for us to stand in. We still need more movement abilities. Yeah, that is causing me an awful lot of damage. Probably should not just sit there and be damaged. Go get him, Bone Crab. Alright, that was okay work. Second, what was he, what did he just bite over here? You see that while we were walking over, he attacked something. Sometimes monsters will attack, random breakable objects in the environment. Maybe there was another table over there, and he hates them with the same burning passion that I hate them with. This is the thing about the brotherhood of sentient beings. You know, on the inside, we're all sort of the same. We all have sensory organs that we rely on far too much, even after the evidence shows us that that's not necessarily a safe thing to do. We all hate tables. We all love a good taco. Truly, it's like a brotherhood. We have some bandits who are not smart enough to realize which side of this thing they should be on. It is really nice to have a big axe. In video games, as in life. It's a wonderful thing to have a great big axe. Where did you come from? No, stop missing. He's gonna get time to summon another flame field. Should we open a Pandora's box? I think it's an interesting question at this point. We're getting up to the point where it might be correct to just let it go, but also, I sure do love free abilities. What is our current level of Pandora's box bonus? Well, actually, it doesn't even... I have to mouse over the number of Pandora's boxes opened. There we go. 9.1% monster damage, 7% monster defense. You know what? We could take another one. Water Scroll, which drenches an area with rushing water. Deadly Aim. Or Ice Tortoise. Okay, so I want one of the water spells for sure. Ice Tortoise is the thing that summons the 4 shards around us and then they like rotate around until they hit something. Water Scroll is just a burst of AoE water damage. I think I'm inclined to take the Water Scroll here. How does the scaling on that work? Okay. So 50% of weapon power, 50% of spirit power leaves behind obscuring mist that suppresses fire damage and increases my dodge chance. Yeah, that I think was the right choice. Also, a fancy helmet dropped. A glowing Spartan helmet of treasures, stealth, and traps. Honestly, pretty bad suffixes on that one. And can you ever imagine not playing our hungry, soothing, toxic muscle panpipes? The manliest thing you can possibly do is play some panpipes. Well, no, the manliest thing you can do is play a hurdy-gurdy. The panpipes are in a close, second place. Did you hear me have to think there very briefly? I was like, what is the number that comes after 1 again? Listen, you might say that's ridiculous. Obviously you knew. Don't assume you know stuff about my brain. The world's a strange place. Every once in a while I like to just reconsider things. Occasionally you will find parts of the world have stopped making sense to you. Actually, speaking of things that don't make sense to me, I have a weird story to tell. This is a good moment for it because we're just going to be wandering around on this floor for a while, not doing anything important. Ooh, we should try to convert this guy. We should try to convert people in general. I sort of forgot to keep doing that. So I was walking to the gas station. I like to walk around at night. There's something about it that's just very comforting. I really like to... It's not even specifically night. What I like about it is walking around in sort of the objects of society and civilization, but without the people in them. There's something that's just calming about walking down a city street when there are no cars. And obviously, if you live in a big enough city, you never get the opportunity to do this because there's always somebody. But I have lived in a lot of places that are they're technically cities, but they just there's just not enough people around for there to always be people around, you know? So I was trying to do that thing, walk around at night and have myself a nice relaxing time, because sometimes I gotta put in a little bit of effort to get my brain to calm down so that I could potentially go to sleep. So I'm trying to calm myself down, and I get out near the road, and it's a big road. There's no cars on it or anything, like I say, but it's 6 lanes across. It's a pretty big road. And I see a guy. And immediately I'm disappointed. First of all, I don't want to be near a person, ever. But secondly, this is ruining the effect, right? Now I'm not able to imagine I'm alone. But whatever. He's on the other side of the 6-lane road. I guess I can just deal with it, right? So I keep walking, trying not to, indicate that I have noticed him, because for some reason that seems to me I don't know, I'll be less likely to have to interact with him if I don't acknowledge having seen him. I don't know. I'm walking along, and all of a sudden, not at a crosswalk or anything, just in the middle of the damn road, the dude starts crossing. And not only is he crossing, but he's clearly crossing he has angled his movement diagonally across the road such that he's going to end up on the sidewalk right in front of me. He's aiming he wants to talk to me. This is one of the most unpleasant things that I can imagine at that moment, just having to talk to a stranger in the middle of my walk. So I'm all my whole limbic system is alarm bells. This is bad. He's resistant to everything. He has ice daggers. He's a conjurer and an illusionist, so there's going to be a million of them. This might be a good time to turn on the Phasma ring. So I'm not freaking out is too strong, but I'm definitely unhappy. So I speed up very slightly, because again, if I acknowledge him, somehow that's worse, right? This is a wonderful situation for our axe. Okay, this is the real guy. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Here's the core problem is that I'm acting if I acknowledge him and I behave in such a way as to suggest that I don't want to talk to this guy, I feel that makes me the weird one in the situation, which if you really think about it is no, that's nonsense. He's the person who's trying to cross the street so as to meet with a stranger. So what's the surreptitious thing I can do to, like, disrupt what I think is about to happen here without admitting that I'm trying to disrupt what's about to happen here? I decide to, like, speed up by 10%. I'm just gonna desync our walking paths. That's my brilliant idea. This guy is not immune to physical at all. That's not gonna work out for him well. I would really love to not be in all these fires. Okay, we can do that. Confuse him. Just fire stuff at him until he goes away. Yeah, so I speed up slightly. And he turns. Like, he changes paths so that now there is absolutely no plausible deniability. This guy is trying to, like, collide with me. And I'm freaking out, man. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to deal with people a lot of the time when they behave in a really normal and predictable way. And it's like, it's 3 in the morning. There's nobody around. Part of me is like, hey, SB, you're about to die. This guy is gonna stab you to death in the middle of this street. And another part of my brain is going, you should calm down. This has nothing to do with you. This is just a man crossing the street. But I don't really listen to that part of my brain all that often. So this guy's crossing, and I just, like, speed up a little bit more, and I have my earbuds in. I'm listening to a podcast. I just try to pretend that I have definitely not noticed him. I am not aware of him, so it will not seem rude when I don't say hello or anything. He gets on the sidewalk right next to me, and he is, at this point, I'm not turning my head right, but I can see him out of the corner of my eye. He is fucking staring dead at me. Which at this point is not even weird anymore, I guess, because he's done everything in his power to signal that he is trying to interact with me. He's staring right at me. He gets up on the sidewalk, like, just keeps looking at me as I walk past him, and then turns around and jogs back out into the street. And it's such a weird thing to do that I can't help but look at this point. Are we cleared out? We are not cleared out. There's one more monster. That's a weird choice. Why did he cross all the way over here just to turn around and go back? So I turn and look, and he, looking back over his shoulder at me the whole time, like, I don't exactly even know how to describe it. He, like, it's not laying down, but he goes down in the road onto his stomach. And I think he was trying to look like he tripped, but also he was afraid to actually, like, trip and hurt himself. So he caught himself with his arms. It's somewhere between tripping and laying down. And the whole time he's just, like, looking over his shoulder at me. And I'm thinking, like, oh my, what is happening here? Right? I am cognizant of the fact that I panic around people, that I interpret totally normal situations as being terrifying, that I often make things much worse than they are. But this is fucking weird, right? Like, this is not a normal interaction. So, I have that water scroll. We can hit him with that. Yeah. Physical resistant enemies are just awkward for us. I need more damage types. I guess, does Community Strike do physical damage? Yes, it does. Okay. Well, then I guess we'll just mash our axe against it. So this dude has thrown himself to the ground. I was not expecting to take this much damage this quickly. And he's down on the ground, and he's just, like, again, just looking at me. Like, I think he wants me to maybe come over and offer to help him. But at this point, I'm embarrassed to admit a little bit, but I'll just get... At this point, I'm, like, terrified. The part of my brain that said, hey, you're about to get stabbed, is sounding more and more reasonable every moment. So I just turned around and started walking, like, a lot faster, and did not turn back around because I was, like... You ever get that feeling that, like, a monster is following you or something? This is total nonsense. But, you know, like, you're in the dark and you hear a spooky sound, and it's just like, oh god, there's something behind me. I can't turn around. If I turn around, it'll definitely get me. I got into that mode with this dude. I have no idea what happened to him. I do know that when I finally did turn around, like, many seconds later, he was just gone. So then I took a circuitous and unusual path home in case I was being followed, because I'm paranoid and deeply crazy. But that was pretty weird, right? I don't think I'm being the guy that I am often being when I say that was a weird interaction. Maybe if I had turned around and helped him up, it would have been like a a fairy tale situation, he would have been like, ah, it was a test for the pure of heart, and you have passed, so now I bequeath to you my kingdom. But also, maybe I would have gotten stabbed? I know some people who have been stabbed, is all I'm saying. Like, it seems like a bad time. I have no desire to try it. The story doesn't really have an ending. It just sort of peters out, but it's a thing that's been on my mind off and on ever since it happened, because what a weird circumstance. What is happening here? Why is there a slightly disconnected shield just following this guy around? Alright, we are going to remember to conquer monsters. You. Same team. Please stop setting fires on me. I'm gonna take this. Maybe we should stop with that. Alright, passive. Okay, we know what Detect Weakness does. When a charmed creature is defeated, recover 10% of your max stamina and energy. Or the Song of Spirit. Songs are interesting. Here's the thing. We don't actually get to charm that many creatures when we're fighting, like, bosses and stuff. My suspicion is that while Replenish will be okay for general sustain, it won't help us at the times when we most need help, and we're not really having any problems with general sustain. So I think Replenish is probably wrong. I might take Song of Spirit. A lot of our stuff is scaling primarily with weapon damage anyway, and Song of Spirit, I believe the base level benefit is 10% Spirit. But then the benefits above that are like you gain health whenever you spend energy or stamina, which obviously has value. I'm going to take it. Let's make sure that I was right about all that. Yeah, level 2 is minus resource costs, and level 3 is heal whenever you spend stamina or energy. That could be useful, right? You also got a Grim Sickle of Familiars, Vengeance, and Frostbite. So there's a little bit of bonus shadow damage. You know, honestly, this is okay. Plus crit chance, plus crit damage. Yeah, that's alright. I'm not gonna take it over the Headhunter. It's obviously 271 power dealt to everything around us. But it's fine. It's a fine weapon. Banisher, Barrier, Massive. Okay, that's not such a big deal. Okay, here. He cannot banish us in any useful way at this point. I'm having a little bit of trouble dealing meaningful damage to him? Why is he so hard to hit? Also, a little concerned about our health. Let's hit him with another Void Bolt. Yeah, let's go ahead and eat something. Maybe I'm being overly cautious here, but just a little bit concerned is all. I can never tell when I say something like, I know some people who have been stabbed, how that kind of thing is going to be taken by an audience. Because I made some friends. In my adult life, I had made some friends who did not grow up in the kinds of places I grew up. And on a couple of occasions, I have said a thing that I thought seemed pretty innocuous, and have learned that it is not normal, for example, to know multiple people who have been shot and stabbed. Apparently it's just not like the way things go in all places in the world, but you know, in the city, sometimes you get mugged. These things happen, and sometimes you do a thing during the mugging that causes you to get stabbed, which is, you know, I'm not going to say that it's definitely your fault, but it's not your fault. Mostly that's... I'm mocking a friend who is not here to hear this, because I'm sure he does not watch these videos. But like, listen, if a mugger says, hey, give me your stuff, and he has a knife in his hand, what you should do is give him your damn stuff. It doesn't matter. Nothing that is in your wallet matters enough for you to get stabbed over it, probably. I guess I don't know that. Maybe you have an infinity gem in there or something, but... You know, it doesn't make you a coward or anything. Just like, don't get stabbed. Do what you got to do to not get stabbed. Be willing to be the guy who didn't get stabbed. That's SB's life advice for today. I want you all to have the bravery, the temerity, the sheer gumption to be the guy who didn't get stabbed. Even if it means potentially leaving a person laying on the ground in the middle of the street. Like I said, he was in no danger. There were no cars anywhere. Whenever I tell a story like that, I am now in my head thinking, wait a minute, am I somehow being insensitive? Is there something about that story that is like deeply screwed up that people who are not me are totally going to hear and have a bad reaction to? And sometimes the answer is, yeah, I was being thoughtless. I didn't connect all the dots before I started talking, and now I sound like an idiot. But the more I think about this one, the more I think I was definitely right to just like completely bail on that situation. Anyway, how about we talk about Tangledeep? Remember this video game that we're supposed to be playing? Where's the... Okay, there is a guy over here. I should probably be charming monsters. It's just like, it's so hard to remember to charm them because it helps so very little. Should probably have some food rolling here. You know, we could just do a chicken dinner. That would be okay. If I can... There it is. There it is. Let's make him come to us a little bit, and we'll just summon a pet or two thing to help deal damage to him. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's gonna hurt. Boy, he's actually very tough and doing a huge amount of damage. We have a little bit more healing. We have 3 more turns of healing on the meal. But to be perfectly honest with you, I kind of think we need to do something here. I guess we don't really have a lot we can do. Again, like, mint or brew doesn't actually solve the problem most of the time. I'm going to back up. Try to find myself an opportunity to let the full debuff wear off. And then we're going to go, like, real hard on health. There is a meat kebab, yeah. He's at 53. It is nice of him to keep not actually getting adjacent to me before firing off that attack. Nope, I don't have enough energy for summons. Damn it. Okay, we're close. We can do this. I'm hitting him for like 5% at a time, which is not usually a very good sign. But, okay, we got there. Eventually, slowly but surely. Yeah, it's tough. And they clearly want you to be using the charm mechanic a lot. Because, you know, you're getting upgrades to it constantly. And there's a whole bunch of mechanics attached to it, right? But it's just so inconsequential. Like, it is always the case that your charmed monsters are dying. This sucks so much. I hate everything about what is happening right now. We are teleporting. This is a really frustrating group of randomly assigned magical powers that this particular enemy has. Okay, so he has reflect enemy attacks here. He's got his frost spike armor. So if we hit him, he's going to deal damage to us. But I guess, I mean, I have to kill him, right? Not killing the monster is not going to make this situation any better. Sometimes you get into one of those situations where not killing the monster doesn't make things better, but leaving the monster alive definitely makes things worse. Why will you not die? Okay, there we go. I think we can just kill this guy and then hit the fountain. I guess we gotta remember to sometimes capture monsters because of the healing, right? That's really the reason. They're basically useless in combat. But it is good to do this thing. Apparently I don't get to infinitely heal this time. Why are you so hard to deal damage to? Alright, now you get to infinitely heal me. I appreciate that the health per turn ramps up over the course of the dungeon, because this could have been roughly 4 times as tedious otherwise, but it's still too slow, right? Maybe what they should have done with it is have it be a larger amount, but have it only heal you when you're in combat, so that you were never incentivized to stand still and pass the turn 100 times. I don't know exactly how you would define in combat, but I think that's a thing they've already done, because I think there are some effects that only trigger when you're in combat. I know that most pets that have a self-heal will only use their self-heal if you're in combat. So they have some kind of determination rigged up already. This would not be a tremendous amount of extra work. He says, knowing literally nothing about the codebase. Look at me, I'm just like a middle manager. I have this pronouncement about how difficult your job is and what you will need to do, and it is based on not reality, but my own desires of reality. I think it should be this way, so it is. Alright. We're going to have quite a menagerie following us, and they're all going to die immediately as soon as we encounter any enemies. Alright, he didn't have time to kill all of them. I mean, listen. There's something that's compelling about this thing. Once you have enough ability, once you have a large enough unit cap to have a menagerie of creatures following you around, this is kind of cool, even though objectively it's probably not that useful. I don't need either of those rings. I guess it's distracting. The enemies will not know what to do. Oh yeah, I have as many guys as I can have. No, a monster came from a different side. Sadly, there is no way to defend people, and healing them just is not worth it. Especially since the whole reason I like having them is that they heal me without me having to spend stuff. If I have to heal them, it sort of disrupts the whole relationship. Alright, I think we are probably pretty close to having cleared this floor out. We've done a lot of running back and forth. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll say this. It is a pretty significant amount of healing once you get a whole bunch of monsters together. So is this the only staircase up? Yeah, we're not missing any alternate branches or anything here. Show me something actually cool. Hey, that's actually cool. Ooh. A blizzard wrap. So it's got the normal light armor bonus of CT gain and move quietly. Water resistance reduces the charge time of adjacent enemies. This is not that good. I saw green and I was excited, but this is really not very good. Tico's Thunder. 25% chance to call a lightning bolt with each attack. 25% chance to reflect magical projectiles. That's definitely interesting. Yeah, we should buy this. It's not even very expensive. Even if we do end up sticking to our physical thing, we should have that as our ranged weapon. And then none of this stuff is going to come anywhere close to what we're currently using, I don't think. Yeah, we'll just grab some brews and some filters and whatnot, and I think that's it. This gives us Adds 1 base spirit power per level. Plus 15% spirit power. So, we have a lot of abilities that scale off both weapon and spirit power. Commanding Strike is just spirit power, actually. Void Bolt is just weapon power. Yeah, I think with the skills that we have, it's very difficult to justify trying to swap over to a full-time ranged build. And we do have the Song of Spirit. That definitely helps. Alright, cook with ingredients. What ingredients do we have? Well, we have this. Also found another banana, which is pretty good. Alright, I think we're doing alright on food. Now that I'm remembering to cook at these, because we cannot cook in other places. Then we may as well grab another campfire meat, right? Okay, 15% chance to recruit non-champion bandit-type monsters when they attack you, or 4% chance to recruit monsters with your basic attacks for each monster you already control. But I'm assuming it doesn't change our monster cap? You know what? Commanding Strike says you may control up to 4 creatures in this fashion. Maybe Commanding Presence does allow you to take on additional ones? The way I'm reading this is that I can only have 4 creatures commanded that were converted by Commanding Strike. Maybe I'm taking that too literally, though? Charisma's just not any good, though, so I don't think it hurts us to take Commanding Presence. Oh, sorry. The weapon power on this is 225. It's honestly, it's not bad. It's not a bad weapon. I am too paralyzed to attack you. Well, how about this? How about I shoot you with a big magical bolt? Yeah, and see, we're on a floor now that is marked as very hard. I wonder if it might be smart to go back and redo some stuff from earlier branches. You know what? I think I'm going to consider that. This is probably a good place for us to stop for now. We're making some pretty good progress here. I'm feeling pretty powerful. We have a lot of options available for when we run into situations that are a little bit tricky, but I also still feel pretty fragile. Boy, I wish we had better armor on. That's going to be it for us for now, though. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. I'm not exactly sure when. Maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. Maybe Sunday, definitely Monday. How about that? Where hopefully we will find some new armor and maybe figure out exactly who Ingersoll was talking about. See you then.